What's up, guys? The Ginger
and the Bear.
And y'all, we need you to smash that like button with hopefully about 1,000,000 times more enthusiasm than most of the MMA community has for the upcoming main event, Jan Blachowicz versus Corey Anderson. And I said that last name with so much more confidence that I actually have in the pronunciation.
I'm not going to lie. I didn't know this was a rematch. I had no idea this was a rematch.
I feel like both guys fought each other before they really had almost any hype behind them.
Yeah.
Or at least like Corey was in a downswing because I think his career is very like...
Up and down, up and down.
Beastin' not 25-8, which used to be his nickname.
Yeah.
He's beasting like, what, 13-4.
Yeah, right. Are you guys excited for this fight? Like, that's what I want to know.
I'm not going to lie. The more I do watch highlights, I think Corey Anderson gets a reputation as a boring fighter that I don't think he deserves.
No, I agree.
I think this is actually going to be a fun fight.
I hope so.
Like, I think Jan and Corey both are actually relatively, or not relatively, I think they are high volume strikers when they are striking.
Yeah.
And I think that there's a very high chance of a knockout when you look at how both guys have lost in the past and that both guys can knock somebody out.
So I don't think we're actually going to give like a straight prediction. I'd probably just tell you guys like how we think if there was to be a knockout, what that person would do to get that knockout.
Yeah. It's weird. Both guys are very difficult fighters to break down. In that high volume strikers, these guys don't have the same patterns almost.
No,
but
they don't.
It's like they have the same like they throw sort of combos and it's just sort of like combo, and it's almost as if there's not a specific end goal with the combinations that they're throwing.
If you look
often,
if you look at Corey Anderson's striking, it's very much like he's throwing out his jab, but he's not hitting anything, right? He's kind of doing the combos just to do the combos. And
it's almost like it reminds me of a worse version of TJ Dillashaw against Dominic Cruz.
Okay.
Where there was a lot of volume and activity that wasn't meant to hit.
Right.
And I couldn't understand. I still don't know if they were lying or not. But it's almost like keep volume up, distract. We're throwing punches, they're feints as punches as feints. But with Corey, like with TJ, it does seem to be working towards a goal.
Yep.
With Corey, it almost seems like Cowboys
I'm just gonna throw this out there. Yeah, exactly.
Like, where it's like, oh, this is just how I always circle. I feel good. Like I just sort of keep pumping. But it's weird because it's like people haven't been able to time it. Even like when Corey's gotten knocked out, I wouldn't say he's gotten knocked out when people have timed his ticks.
Yeah.
Even his ticks, it's like there's not a specific tick like Cowboy. It's just like, oh, always throw, don't stop. We're across the outcome from each other, but I'm still going to be throwing, still throwing. And it's the weirdest thing because like I think we both really like to and are pretty good at reading patterns in fighters. And aside from a few techniques that I see them go to relatively frequently, I don't see the same setups.
Their pattern is that there is no pattern.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's...
Yeah, it's like they have a random number generator and they have like 5 techniques that they'll throw. And it's just like... And then it's like, okay, well, cross hook, cross 7. Jan stepping into a high kick. And then it's like... High kick, cross, stepping... You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's why it's such a difficult matchup to predict, especially at light heavyweight, because both guys have knockout power.
No, absolutely. And Jan's very interesting because he kind of, you know how at MMA the striking used to be like, I'm going to come forward and run at you.
A la Chuck Liddell.
Jan kind of does that just a little bit.
But it's weird.
But he does like a follow through.
It like works though.
Yeah, it does.
It's so weird. Like every time I've seen Jan do the splits, I always go like, oh, it's terrible. But then I'm like, oh, well, he's not getting knocked out when he does it.
Yeah.
Because Jan has been knocked out, but it was not off of the blitz.
Yep.
So I'm like, okay, well, then he's got to be doing something right. And then if you watch him, he stays weirdly balanced and defensively sound while he's blitzing.
And I think it's probably because he takes a step in the direction where he's fighting. So he's like... Punch with the right, I'm in southpaw. Punch with the left, I'm in orthodox. Punch with the... Instead of going like, I'm just going to walk towards you and put my hands up.
And
right?
especially like the Chuck Liddell blitz, right?
Exactly.
As we saw,
Yep.
the chin would be over the knees and you'd actually be leaning forward. Jan, it's almost instead of a blitz, it's like a rapid shift. And it's just, it's very strange, but what I will say is a beautiful technique he hits is he'll do that shift, 3 or 4 strikes, and then a stepping left body kick or a stepping left roundhouse to the head. I think that is the most likely thing to take out Corey. I honestly also don't really put much stock in their first fight because I think both guys have actually gotten quite a bit better. Way better. Both of them.
And for Corey, like I think the best, if he can time and actually scout Jan, he can probably land that overhand on Jan.
Which has been looking really nice in his last few fights.
Really, really nice.
I just think my biggest thing is I think Jan has started to really sit on his punches more, like we saw against Rockhold. And it's you never know with Jan. It's like
we can't use Rockhold as a thermometer of like.
No, but the way he was throwing those punches,
that's fair.
He was sitting down on the strikes a lot more than he has in the past.
That's true.
And I think that could be the difference maker because in the first fight, Jan was touching Corey a lot, and to be fair, it was going both ways. But I think if Jan starts to actually sit down on his strikes a bit more and still is able to find Corey's chin, I think that it could be a difference maker because he was throwing hooks much more powerfully than we've seen him throw before. And I think for Corey,
and Jan has a nice,
it's a really nice left hook.
It's really nice left hook.
The thing is, I think Corey's very vulnerable to his right side. I actually think he's very good defensively on the left. So it's just it's tricky, right? This is a matchup. Jan's a switch hitter. If Jan's in southpaw, he's very open to Corey's overhand right.
The left hook would get Corey on the right side. Because it's orthodox.
Oh yeah, so that's a good point.
So that's another possibility if
because Corey is bad from the right side. So Jan's left hook. So if Jan's in orthodox, his left hook is there. If he's in southpaw, the left straight, which Jan doesn't really throw the left straight very well, or not very well. Jan doesn't really throw the true like left straight. He throws like a short left straight. But he throws the left high kick and the left body kick
really
a lot.
Well.
So Corey is gonna have problems if Jan comes out in southpaw, I think. But Jan's not gonna come out in southpaw. Jan's gonna like come out and he's gonna be switching back again. And forth. And I could see Corey getting lulled into an orthodox exchange and then Jan switching to southpaw and hitting the high kick, or vice versa. Corey getting lulled and used to southpaw, Jan switching to orthodox and hitting Corey with the same left hook that he hit Rockhold with.
I think most likely Jan. I favor Jan, and I just
Corey's a 2-1 favorite betting odds.
Which is because he won the last time,
I'm just saying, which is interesting because I think this is kind of a pick'em fight. I think it's super 50-50, and I think even Jan shows up as very different fight to fight, strangely different.
I think the question is that will this be like an interesting fight? And I think that, man, because both of these opponents have a lot on the line. If either one of them lose, they're not getting the shot with Jon Jones.
And on paper, this should be for the next title shot. On paper, this is the #1 contender fight. And man, it's just hard because I feel people have said this about all of Jones' last 3 opponents. They've always been like, I feel like Jones is going to run through him.
And I can't.
But I say that, but then I can't believe that anymore. After we've seen guys
almost beat him.
Reyes almost beat him. Santos almost beat him. A lot of you guys think that both of those guys did beat him. I think that it's very fair.
I think Santos beat him. I don't think Reyes beat him.
Let me put it this way. There's an argument for sure. Like, I'm not going to out here be like, Jon Jones 100% won the fight. I'm like, I think Jon Jones 75% won the fight. But I can see where other people are coming from. So it's like, who would you, okay, I feel like we both just kind of said this is like hard to predict. Who would you rather win if they are going to get the title shot?
I would rather see Jan win because I don't think Corey because Corey has fought Jones before, right? He hasn't fought Jones before? Didn't he get fucked up by Jones?
He always goes, he's every time he's building for the title shot, he's lost.
Okay, well, I don't think that he would be a worthy opponent for Jones. That's a better way for me to say.
The only thing I could see is Jan's blitzing and stance switching causing problems for Jones. After seeing Jones against Reyes, I kind of am like, I feel like Reyes blitzes better than Jan does. But it's tricky. I think I would prefer Jan to win because I do think it would be a more fun matchup with Jon Jones and Jan.
I also think that this fight is going to happen and there's going to be so much on the line that both of them are going to be very, very defensive. And it's just going to be a boring fight. It's going to be... boring is subjective, right? What I mean by boring is that nobody's going to really engage. And that's not going to lead anybody to a title shot. Everybody's going to want to see either a Thiago Santos rematch or a Reyes rematch. And I would...
Or Izzy.
Or Izzy, right?
Yeah.
Like, those would be more... I mean, I would encourage these fighters to lay everything on the line, because this is their time to shine. If either one of these people can get a knockout, then they are right up in the mix to fight John Jones.
Even if they win a boring decision, there are a lot of people, like, I think there'd be a ton of hype behind all three of those fights that we mentioned, Santos, Reyes, and Izzy. And so, like, boys, you better bring it if you want to actually ensure your title shot, because the UFC's not going to give it to you off of a boring decision unless Jones wants to stay active and just none of those other fights are available.
So either this will be a super entertaining fight because one of them is going to realize, this is my time to shine. This is my time to make history.
And they've gotten knockouts recently as well. And they're both volume strikers. So it could, now you got me worried, bro, because I could actually see... They are usually very entertaining fighters, but both have shown that they are willing to be very conservative and try to just eke out a victory. And that's, as fighters, no hate. Win how you need to win.
Well, the Jacare versus Blachowicz.
That was a terrible fight.
That was a terrible fight.
It was atrocious, but Jan fought exactly and did what he needed to do.
So that's interesting, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, let us know what you guys think. Do you guys think this is going to be a boring fight? Are you guys excited for this fight?
Who do you think is going to win?
Yeah, and let us know.
I think I am going to say I think that Jan will be able to win it this time.
Yeah, that's our official prediction.
It's mine. I think he's made more changes. I think that the power could be the differentiator from the first fight. That being said, though, guys, we will see you next time. So hopefully there's a knockout. You get a reaction from us.